Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This garden tour ended up being way longer than I thought it was going to be, so I'll put it out in a couple of parts. Let's go ahead and get started. Part of the reason I haven't posted a video in a while is that I've been out working in my garden a lot. Fall's my favorite time in the garden. I'm really proud of how it's coming along. I can't wait to show it off. So here is what I always call my first bed. This one is probably going to be my most productive bed this fall and winter. I've got a lot of different fall and winter stuff started in here. I didn't label most of it, so I'm not really sure what a lot of it is. But aside from the vinca, the basil, and some different herbs I have in there, I have this jalapeno plant here on the right, which does have quite a few jalapenos on it. I'm not sure if they're really that good because I personally don't care for jalapenos, but my neighbors like them and Tim says they're all right. These are some of the different winter things that I have. Again, as usual, I always have them under the waste baskets to keep the birds from digging around inside of them. And then I know over here I've planted some carrots, and there's that really beautiful vinca. So I'm trying to save seeds from that so I can have that flower growing in some other places in my garden. And then here is the back of that fountain. Here is bed number 2, as I call it. It's kind of empty because I think the moonflower kind of took over. That is the basil plant that is in there. And then over on this side, I have more vincas. These ones are white. And the way that they cascade out of the side of this bed is just really, really beautiful. So again, trying to save seeds. And then this mulberry tree showed up out of nowhere. I googled it. It's not going to produce any fruit. It's also considered invasive. And then here's the front of that bed where you can see the arch that previously had a lot of moonflowers on it, but it's kind of died back a little bit. It is still really beautiful though, with kind of all of that growing over it. So I'm content to let it stay for now. Here's kind of my third or fourth bed. I planted a lot of different stuff in here, but this bed doesn't really get a whole lot of sun, so everything's growing really slowly. I was able to plant the top of that romaine that I bought at the grocery store. I did plant some beans, but I got them in the ground kind of late, so they're growing really slowly, but they still are growing. So if they've survived the winter, we should have a good crop of beans. Here's some other things that I started inside and brought outside. That's a zucchini plant that's really struggling. And then here I have this weird insect situation going on with these beans. I don't know what these things are and haven't had a chance to look at it. They look like aphids, but they're black and they're little tiny flies. Seems like every year I have new pests in the garden that I have to deal with, and this is just another example of that. This bed I have not been able to fill out since the javelina came through and destroyed it because we have not put a fence around it, but I do have some rosemary and lavender growing in there. And here's my other fountain. I'm growing some different stuff around this fountain, and I've tried to propagate basil in the actual fountain. So there's a lot of mint growing around here. There is rosemary that just smells fantastic. It is just unreal how good it smells. I have a good looking aloe growing behind there. And then around the front, there are some little flowers kind of coming in here and there. So I'm excited to see what those look like around the springtime. Here's my Mexican lime. I took it out of the pot finally. I did as well with the lemon tree. It has been putting on new growth and looking pretty good. I've been watering it regularly, but now I'm kind of slowing down on the watering as it's getting quite cold out, but it is looking really great. I transplanted some aloe pups in different areas of the garden just to kind of see how big those get. That was recently, so they're still kind of small, but I imagine in the summer they're going to get pretty large. And they are on either side of this beautiful arch.
Look around you. It's a beautiful life.